there was two rabbis. To simplify it, they lived in two different cities. One, the father of the daughter was very, very poor, and they were both rabbis. They both had children. One, obviously, the boy, one of the girl, and the rabbi of the girl, the father of the girl, saw this like great option for a shidduch, and he's like, okay, awesome. So he said, promised a big dowry that would go and bring into the marriage. And the custom was during those times was that you don't set a date until the dowry is paid up. So we know the couple set up and they're able to start their life. But this never happened. The dowry never came. Now in the area of the father of the bride, the father of the kala, he was a rabbi in this community. And this particular community was known to have very high-end grapes and wines that the people would sell, export, style business. And in order to go and sell wine, these grapes or wines to Jews, the merchant would need to have a certificate from the rabbi. So there's one particular certificate that went to this rabbi, the rabbi, which is again the father of the bride, and he says, "Can you give me a certificate for my product so I could sell to the Jews?" And he was Jewish as well, and the rabbi refused. Says, "No, can't do it." It wasn't because he wasn't sure about him. It wasn't sure because he didn't know about him. It was because he knew about him, didn't trust him, and he says, "No, I'm not giving you a kashrut certificate. I don't believe that you're going to follow the law, whatever the reason was, and I'm not giving it to you." This guy became very bitter, very angry, and he wanted to take revenge. And he knew that this rabbi and the other rabbi in a nearby town, their children were meant to get married, but there was a holdup because the dowry wasn't sent over. So he decides he's going to go and travel to the other city where the rabbi, the father of the groom is. And he goes and he meets with the rabbi over there. The rabbi welcomes him and he says, "Where are you from?" And he says the town of the rabbi of the father of the bride. And he says, "Oh, do you know my future mechutan?" And he says, "Yes, of course I know him." "How's he doing?" He starts asking questions. And he starts blurring out. He says, even if he sells every single item in his house, he will never be able to pay that dowry. He's poorer than poor. There's nothing to talk about. You're never going to get this money that was promised to you. His intention was to ruin this marriage. His intention was, you know what? This rabbi didn't let me sell my grapes, my wine. I'm going to make sure these kids don't get married. And that was his intention. But when the father of the groom heard that the father of the bride doesn't have the money to pay for it, he says, "So why are we waiting for? If we're not getting the money anyways, let's just go and get the wedding, the ceremony in order, and let's just move on with the wedding." This person, his whole intention was to ruin this wedding, but really what he ended up doing was making the wedding happen and making it happen quicker. Explains, Rabbi Biederman. It says, Rabbis machshavas belevish. You have somebody that has many thoughts, and he's going to even want to go against you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can make it that even the thoughts against you will circle around and go and make it for your benefit.